Amy. I hope everybody is having an awesome Wednesday. Today I wanted to talk about digital images or digital stamps. You'll find them under both words. And if you've never used them, you've got to give them a try. I really come to really like digital stamps. I like them even better than using like my rubber stamps or my cling stamps. And you can find such a wide variety, and there's many sites that carry them. If you go to Etsy, you can just, in the search, do digital image or digital stamps, and you'll just get just so many that you won't even know what to do with yourself. So I want to show you a site here, the site that I go to the most. Whoops, sorry guys. And let me pull it up here. It's called saturatedcanary.blogpost.com, and that takes you right into her blog, and then there'll be a link for the shop, which is where I'm at right now. And basically all it is, this lady is such a great artist. I love her images. And when you get the link for the download, the images are so crisp and clear. There's a couple sites that I've gone to where when I got the images were just not good, and even when I printed them out, they were real fuzzy. But I've never had a problem with that with this site. And let me just scroll through some of these for you. These are her newer images, right here. I love this one. I think this one's really cute. Let me click on it so we can get a closer view. I'm trying to stay out of... So once you have found the image you want and you actually go through the process and purchase them, once she receives the payment, she automatically emails you. And it's usually within 5 or 10 minutes that I get my link, which is really nice because I'm bad at waiting and trying to be patient. You know how that is, especially when you're excited to color it. So what I do is I go into Photoshop, and this is where I print my images from. Now if you don't have Photoshop, that's okay. Whatever photo imaging site you have will work, as long as you're able to open your images and size them. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to open a new document, and I'm going to open a document that's 8.5 by 11. I'm going to say open. And then this is the image, this is the sheet that I'm going to print from. I'm going to open my image as well, and I'll show you how I work this. What I do is when I have, I've downloaded from several sites, and I try to just keep them in their own folders. Like let me zoom up here once you can see. So I have all the different places that I've gotten them from. I have a folder for each set of images. So I would just slide them down to my Saturated Canary Digis and double click here, and then I can go through all the images I have from her. Now I'm going to use this image right here. She's I think she's the very first image I bought from that site. It was actually on her Etsy store at the time. And so now that I have it, let me just zoom up a little bit so you can get a better look at her. She's a real, sorry guys, she's a real cutie. And what I'm going to do, because right now she's in a locked layer, when you open a new file, it's going to be in a locked layer, especially for Photoshop. You may not have to do this if you're doing it in a different editing site. I'm just going to double click it, and it's going to ask you to rename it, but I don't care about the name, so I'm just going to say OK. So now this is unlocked, and I don't have to worry about that. And I'm just going to left click, hold, and drag her to my new 8.5 by 11 page. And then I'm going to resize her. You'll see she comes up pretty big. And then I'm just going to move her down, and just make her a little bit smaller. I say OK. And then, it's thinking. Then I just move her to anywhere on the page that I want. Generally what I do with digital images, especially if it's a new image, is I'll print the same image out quite a bit because I want to play around with what colors I want to use. So I might take this, because here's the image that she's on, the layer that she's on. Let me just turn that off so you can see that. And I might drag it up here. This will duplicate my layer. And then I can take this over, and now I've got 2. So now, and I would do that through the whole sheet. I would try to get maybe 6 on one sheet. Let me go ahead and delete this layer though, just because we don't really need her right now. And up here in the view, if you go to view, and you come down and you'll see rule and grid. Grid will actually put a little grid marks onto your page, so you can, I don't really care for it too much, but it might help. It might help with some projects, maybe things that I don't normally do. And then there's also, you can put rulers up, and I really like that because if I know I'm working with a card that's a regular standard A4 card or whatever. I might have just made that up, but anyway. I can now put this up here and I can see that this is going to be like 3 inches by 5 inches or somewhere close to that. And I'm hoping that that comes up on the video, but let me just make this big again so you can see it. For some reason, when the screen is really little, you kind of lose part of the image. So once I get my image where I want it, and a lot of times I'll take several images and put them on one sheet and print them. Just because once I start coloring, if I make a mistake, I don't want to have to get up and reprint it. It's kind of a pain because I don't keep my computer on that much. So you're just going to go to File and come down here to Print. And you can choose the printer you want to use. You can center the image. You can do tons of different things in here. I generally just leave it just how I have it. And then I'll say Print here. And then I'll come in here to Preferences and then to Paper Quality. And if I was actually printing it, the paper I use when I'm printing these, is called Express It blending paper. And it's really soft. It's like super silky, but it's not too shiny, which I really like. And this is the paper that I have in my local scrapbook store that I think works best out of the papers they have. I've never tried the Neenah Solar White, and I know that's supposed to be a very good paper as well, but this is the one I use. For today, just because I'm not planning on coloring that image, I'm just going to print it out on a regular sheet of paper. So let me go ahead and I've already done that just so I wouldn't waste time printing that out. So let me cancel out of this real quick. And here it is. Now my ink was running out when I did this yesterday. I just put new ink in, so you can see that some of the lines are green. That might show up there. I'm not quite positive. But there's your image. So from within just 5 to 10 minutes you can have an image ready to color, which I like. Here's the one I did before. Now I suggest when you first start doing this that you print your image out on just normal printer paper to make sure that their sizing is right. Just because the Express It paper runs about 69 cents, you don't want to waste any of that. I don't, it's just because it gets pretty expensive when you're doing a lot of images. So I hope this helped you guys, and I hope you guys have a great night. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment. Bye.